There was a huge overnight drop in temperature, and the wind has taken over the valley.
We will have a story on 2 inspirational women in the media industry.
And the Lady Rebels rewrote history. We will have that and more coming up on Studio G.
Welcome to Studio G. My name is Kyra White.
And I'm Yavni. Thank you for joining us.
I know many of us have felt the rise in gas prices this past week and are wondering if this is going to be for the long haul, and if so, for how long?
The national average for gas prices have skyrocketed to nearly an all-time high this week, with the average at around $4.75 and even up to $6 in certain states. According to AAA, the price is stated to be up 8 cents from this past Tuesday and more than 60 cents from last week and $1 up from a year ago. This comes following Russia's attack on the Ukraine, when sanctions put on Russia severely hindered their ability to sell crude oil, which is one of the biggest determinants for gas prices. On Tuesday, Biden announced a ban on the U.S. import of all Russian energy products, including crude oil, petroleum, gas, and coal. Gas Buddies predicts that the average cost is expected to peak in May, and while declining around November, it will remain over $4. I'm Brianna DeLeon reporting for Studio G.
Many automobile owners have resorted to looking at electric cars and popular fuel-saving apps, such as Gas Buddy, that give users the cost of gas in their area.
Talking about gas prices, there are some gas stations that are more affordable than others.
Arco starts at $4.13. Sam's Club and Costco are tied for second at $4.13. The Circle K is third at $4.43.
With the continuation of Russia's invasion of Ukraine, the gaming industry is suspending business in the country as their response and protests to the invasion. Reporter Leigh has more on the story.
Mikhailo Fedorov, the Prime Minister and Minister of Digital Transformation of Ukraine, has publicly called out to all game development companies to temporarily block all Russian and Belarusian accounts as a response to Russia's ongoing invasion of Ukraine. Many of the game industry's major players like Ubisoft, EA, Epic Games, and Microsoft have stopped processing new purchases to their services. Even Steam has made credit card payments on the platform unavailable to Russian users, while Nintendo has placed their Nintendo eShop under temporary maintenance. Reporting for Studio G, I'm Leigh Caldejon.
As the war progresses, more and more companies are showing their support and solidarity for Ukraine.
The Lady Rebels are going to the dance. Nick Todorovich has more.
The Lady Rebels capped off their great regular season with a Mountain West Conference Championship and an automatic bid to the NCAA tournament. The Lady Rebels played host to the Colorado State Rams at the Thomas & Mack. The number 1 seed Rebels started off cold. The Rams were doubling Desiree Young early and forcing the ball out of her hands. It took the Lady Rebels a while to adjust, but Essence Booker took over midway in the first. The Rams head coach is full of praise for the dynamic duo of Booker and Young.
You've got to dedicate a plan to those 2 kids. I mean, they're special players.
Essence Booker carried the load for the Lady Rebels throughout the majority of the tournament, but players such as Justice Etheridge went under the radar and helped UNLV achieve their goal.
She's kind of an under-the-radar type of player. She does a lot of her work on the defensive end. I mean, number 5 for them had 10 points again, who's averaging nearly 20. And then she's just not flashy. She kind of does the dirty work. She flies in there for rebounds. She guards the best player. She doesn't totally wear a ton of emotion on her face, but she gets huge buckets, and, she's just a gamer.
It is noticeable that this team is united. Coach LaRock believes in all of her ladies, and they believe in her. Reporting for Studio G, this is Nick Todorovich.
Linda LaRock and her squad will find out their fate for the NCAA tournament this weekend during Selection Sunday. Coming up, we will have more information on the CSUN elections and a Nevada energy blackout, which caused 2,000 homes to lose power.
If you're a parent, you've done it all this past year. But the one thing you may not have done is take care of yourself. At Boys Town, we know that a parent's mental health is important too. Visit boystown.org/stressedout for great self-care tips for parents. You can even download an ebook to guide you and your family through self-care strategies, because healthy parents are key to happy families.
Former Raiders wide receiver Henry Ruggs III is due in court today. He got arrested for a DUI with injury on November 2nd when he crashed his car at over 150 miles per hour. He's facing up to 50 years in prison if found guilty.
The Care Center is helping families of victims who have experienced sexual assault. Luis Soto has more.
While visiting the Care Center, I asked the assistant director how we may help our loved ones to cope with SA.
I think one of the main things that you want to keep in mind when you have someone that you care about who's been impacted by this type of violence is that you want to definitely validate their emotions and experiences, and also provide them with the support to choose their own options. One of the things about interpersonal violence, we also call it power-based violence, because it's all about taking away someone's power and control. And so one of the best ways to support someone who's experienced that is to give as much power and control back to that person as possible. So one of the ways that you can do that is by providing that person options. So if you as an ally, as someone who knows someone who might be experiencing something like this, if you are aware of the resources and options that are available to that person, so you can let them know what those are, that is amazing and can make a big impact on that person.
If you need help finding options, you can visit the Care Center. This is Luis Soto reporting for Studio G.
If you would like to visit the Care Center, their office hours are Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. located on UNLV campus by the Student Registration Building and the Cox Pavilion.
CSUN primary elections are underway. Voting is open now until 5 p.m. tonight. UNLV students can vote at the physical polling booths located in the Student Union or through the Involvement Center page at involvementcenter.unlv.edu. CSUN is also hosting a policy and primaries event in the PETA Plaza today from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. There will be free food and giveaways, as well as the announcement of the results of the primaries. For more information on the tickets for this election, visit CSUN's Instagram at UNLV-CSUN.
The lawyer who was shot by FBI agents last week has been accused of running an estimated $300 million Ponzi scheme. Matthew Beasley is the lawyer in question, and he is being charged with 1 count of assault on an officer as of now. But Beasley confessed multiple times to officers about his involvement and expected the agents to come for him that day.
The waiter, who was shot 7 times during December last year, spoke about his experience recently. Ching Ying Wang was shot at 11 times and 7 of them hit him. He has been recovering and rehabbing ever since. Wang says he has had a second chance at life. Now we wish you the best in your recovery.
A huge power outage struck over 2,000 customers of Nevada Energy early this morning. As of 7 a.m., there were still around 1,900 customers with no power. Many streetlights were also out around Bonanza and Las Vegas Boulevard.
Last night, a windstorm rolled through the Las Vegas Valley. We'll have more updates on the weather after this break.
Chris Domine is a husband and a father. Chris is an athlete. Chris is even an Ironman. But 10 years ago, Chris was facing a very different story because his kidneys were failing.
Basically, the doctor said, if you don't get a kidney transplant and if you don't do dialysis, you are going to die.
Fortunately, Chris received a second chance at life, made possible by an organ donor.
You know, your well-being changes, you know, from loss of hope to better times ahead.
More than 100 million people in America are registered organ, eye, and tissue donors. People of every age and ethnicity, because they believe it's the right thing to do. Imagine what you can make possible by leaving behind the gift of life. Learn more and sign up as an organ, eye, and tissue donor. Go to organdonor.gov.
Good afternoon, ladies, gentlemen, and everybody watching. I'm Jonathan Corral here with today's weather. So let's get started. So right now, we're going to be looking at a high of 59 degrees with a wind speed of 20 miles per hour. So pretty strong. And even though it is 59, it's going to feel a lot colder with these chilly winds blowing at us. So make sure you bundle up, wear a jacket, wear a beanie, keep warm. Next, we're going to be looking at the valley temperatures. Now you can see all across the valley, we're basically going to be at 50 degrees. I mean, the lowest is probably Anthem and Boulder City at 50, but across the entire valley, no matter where you go, you're going to be in the low 50s. So again, stay bundled up. Don't get caught in the winds out there, especially while driving. So next up with the weather headlines, we are cloudy, sun's not out today, and strong wind speeds. Keep in mind, again, be careful when you're driving and make sure not to get blown away while walking either. We're going to have clear but chilly nights. So again, just keep warm, stay bundled, make sure you dress appropriately. So for our evening planner, you can see from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. it'll be a small dip from 56 degrees to 53 degrees. And then we're going to go to 9 p.m. to 12 a.m. where we'll see another small dip at 47 degrees to 44 degrees. So just throughout the day, it's going to be relatively cold. Next up, tomorrow morning, we're going to have a sunrise temperature at 39 degrees. But the sun's coming up a little earlier too at 5:56 a.m. So if you are a morning person, you're going to have to get up pretty early if you want to see that sunrise, or you can just sleep in. And next for our 7-day forecast, you're going to see from Thursday to Friday, we're going to be 59 and 64 at the highest with some pretty low temperatures at 43 and 38. Now, once we hit the weekend on Saturday and Sunday, we're going to be at the 70s, with Sunday being mid-70 with 75. Both days will be at a low at 41 to 45s. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, we're actually going to be seeing some high temperatures or some mid temperatures with 74. Tuesday at the highest with 81. Wednesday at 76, and all across the entire Monday through Wednesday, we're going to be at 50. And that's all I have for today's weather. Thank you for watching. That's all for today. And now we have a story on 2 inspiring women who are making it big in the journalism field.
Bree Guy and Alicia Patillo are both amazing women who have made a mark in the journalism world and locally in Las Vegas. They both worked hard to gain experience to work in television despite the challenges along the way. One thing that caught both Bree and Alicia's eyes once their careers took off was the underrepresentation of women, and especially women of color, in television.
That is something that we continue to work on to this day. It's a nationwide issue. It's a nationwide thing that every station deals with in terms of increasing diversity and inclusion and making sure that your team, your broadcast team, looks like the community that they are serving. Here in Las Vegas, there's not a lot of black meteorologists. And then when you take that down to black women meteorologists, and you're looking at women in STEM in general, that's like an even lower number.
When I moved to the West Coast in Bakersfield, they didn't do Black History Month, and that would really bothered me. But a part of, me being Alicia, I've always stood up for myself. I've always had a voice. I've never been scared to use my voice, ever.
Despite the continuous fight to gain more representation in television, Alicia and Bree encourage younger girls who want to work in male-dominated jobs, such as STEM and television, to keep chasing those dreams.
So many girls don't think that they can do it, and they can. Especially, little black girls, you can do this. You can be a scientist. You don't even have to be on, you can do whatever you want. You can be a biological, engineer if you want. We can do it. And that's speaking to all little girls, no matter what race, whatever color you are, you can do it.
Don't give up. I always, when I got into this business, I always said, if it doesn't work out, at least I can tell my kids and my grandkids, hey, I did it. I used to read the news. I used to work for a television station. And then I decided I didn't want to do it anymore. Or, it just didn't work out. So my advice is just do it. You only have one life. And it's about experiences. And it's about going for it and the courage to go for it.
Celebrating Women's History Month and reporting for Studio G, I'm Justine Verestiga.
Women's History Month continues until the end of March.
That package was actually really inspiring. I thought it was beautiful, especially being two women who are aspiring to be in the journalism field. That was truly inspirational.
Yes, those ladies just gave me a lot of motivation. So coming up, housing prices are skyrocketing in Las Vegas. But why is the market so high right now? We will have the answer to that and more right after this break.
If you're a parent, you've done it all this past year. But the one thing you may not have done is take care of yourself. At Boys Town, we know that a parent's mental health is important too. Visit boystown.org/stressedout for great self-care tips for parents. You can even download an ebook to guide you and your family through self-care strategies. Because healthy parents are key to happy families.
Hello, today we have Jones Tantoco with us. He is of real estate here in Las Vegas. He has been doing this for 17 years. Thank you so much for being with us here.
Oh, thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
So, as our anchor O mentioned today, the house prices have been skyrocketing, and people really, they really want to know why, what's going on. Let's break it down for them, Jones. So, to begin, do you agree with that statement? Are they at all-time highs?
Yes, it is, because the reason why there's no inventory, plus a lot of out-of-towner buyers are coming in with cash, and with that said, like the local people is having a hard time to buy properties because of this hedge fund investors as well are coming in, so that's why they're escalating the prices. Like I have 2 listings right now, and both of them got $20,000 over list price, cash deal. They're buying over market value. That's the reason why as well.
Wow. So how can a person who is buying homes for the first time, how can they compete with something like that?
Well, my advice for new home buyers, I tell them to go with the new homes. It takes longer for them, but it's for sure once they get deposit down and they get drawn, definitely they're gonna get, it's longer wait, but they can get a house. Resale is slower, but they're competing with a lot of hedge funds buyers, so it's gonna be difficult for them. So my advice for buyers, new buyers, is new homes right now.
New homes, wow.
Yeah.
So I heard a rumor, I think it was somebody said it on like TikTok, she's a real estate person. You're also on Instagram, right?
Yeah.
So she mentioned that when you go look at a new home, like a new build home, make sure to take your real estate with you, because if you speak to the people at that project or anyway, they become your realtor, is that correct?
Yes, so if you're gonna, it's like going to a court. You don't want to represent yourself without a lawyer, so it's always good to go with a realtor when you're going to a new home, so that way they can guide you in the process. So that's what I usually advise my client. Don't go there until I'm with you. So.
See, that is excellent advice. So if anybody's out there sees there's some new homes in your neighborhood, don't just stop in by yourself.
Yeah.
Make sure that you have your realtor with you. A trusty real estate agent is super important to make you comfortable in this whole process, right?
That's right.
So let's say I'm looking for a home around $300,000. What realistically, what could I find for that price?
For that price right now, $300,000, you can looking at condos, townhomes, and the area is not as desirable because the median price right now is $435,000 for like a 1,500 3-bedroom, 2-car garage, 2.5 bathroom. So it's pretty high. So for $300,000, you're looking at condos and townhomes.
Wow,
So,
that is super
yeah.
high. So actually, before the show started, I asked some of our Instagram followers if they had any questions for you, and we did get one from Quinnell Jones. He actually wanted to know where should he be looking for his first home. So if he's buying his first home, where should he be looking? Where's a good place to start?
Well, first thing I advise them to get pre-approved to make sure we know the price range. And from there, based on the price, that's where we actually try to find out what location he can buy, because it's based on price right now. Like I said, if he's a new home buyer, I recommend we go new homes first, because for resale, competition is very hard. So get pre-approved first, see what the max price is, and then from the max price, we determine the area that way we can go to. So it's hard. It's determined by your price, not where you want to live.
Right.
So.
That's excellent advice, and it's good to know. So let's move on to our actual next subject. But before that, can we get his Instagram handle on there and his phone number? If you have any questions, you can reach out to Jones Tantoco. And then now we have one of the best female athletes of all time is getting inducted into the Hall of Fame. Stay with us to see who it is. Do you know who it is?
Chris Domine is a husband and a father. Chris is an athlete. Chris is even an Ironman. But 10 years ago, Chris was facing a very different story because his kidneys were failing.
Basically, the doctor said, if you don't get a kidney transplant and if you don't do dialysis, you are going to die.
Fortunately, Chris received a second chance at life, made possible by an organ donor.
Your well-being changes, from loss of hope to better times ahead.
More than 100 million people in America are registered organ, eye, and tissue donors. People of every age and ethnicity, because they believe it's the right thing to do. Imagine what you could make possible by leaving behind the gift of life. Learn more and sign up as an organ, eye, and tissue donor. Go to organdonor.gov.
You know that super fancy outfit collecting dust in the back of your closet? Well, shake it off and get ready. We're heading back in time to the Roaring 20s for this week's restaurant review.
For this week's restaurant review, I headed over to one of my favorite spots on the Strip, Mayfair Supper Club at the Bellagio. Inspired by top supper clubs around the world, Mayfair provides not only a feast for the senses with incredible presentations, flavor profiles, and drink selections, but a return to the glamorous airs of Las Vegas and Old New York. Set against the fountains of Bellagio, the Mayfair is anything but the usual. Bread and butter service is how you'll start off the night, and it's probably the most normal thing you'll experience. Design, dining, and entertainment collide to make up quite the show. For appetizers, we ordered the wedge, a perfectly cut piece of iceberg lettuce topped with blue cheese crumbles, candied bacon, and 2 pieces of thinly sliced sourdough toast, tuna tartare with lemongrass aioli, yuzu, and crispy shallots, and coconut shrimp, which they served in a coconut on top of rock salt and rock pepper. Throughout the night, shows are being performed on the Mayfair stage. If you don't get a good table, don't worry. The performers frequently walk around the dining room to include people that aren't just front and center. For dessert, the Cherries Jubilee are definitely one for the books. Prepared at your table, the cherries start off on a stove, flambéed in rum and sugar, and then carefully poured over a generous pile of vanilla ice cream. The entire process takes about 2 minutes. The dessert bowl is then served on top of steaming rocks so that people from other tables will wonder what you're eating and want to order it for themselves. The Black Forest cake is also delicious, but it doesn't do anything cool. Overall, I recommend the Mayfair Supper Club to literally anybody that lives in or visits Las Vegas. The prices are higher than the average dinner, but when you factor in the show and view of the Bellagio fountains, it's definitely worth it. For college kids, bring your parents here when they come visit and have them pay for it. Keep in mind, though, that some of the dancing does get a bit risque. If your parents already live here or don't want to hang out with you, go with some friends and order appetizers. Maybe pregame a little because the drinks are just plain expensive. For Studio G News, I'm Molly Peters, and this has been your weekly restaurant review.
Reservations can be made online at the link listed below. Book well in advance unless you plan on going really early or really late. The dress code for ladies is elegant and dressy. For men, collared shirts or polos will do. Shorts, tank tops, and open-toe shoes are not permitted. For questions, visit themayfairlv.com.
Golden Knights superstar Jack Eichel is going to go up against the Buffalo Sabres for the first time in his career. The Buffalo Sabres traded Eichel to Vegas after they couldn't agree on a medical procedure for his neck. Vegas allowed Eichel to get his preferred treatment, and after about a 3-month rehab, he is back to playing high-level hockey. Vegas will hope to end this mini skid when they take on the Sabres tonight at 4 p.m., but they will be without Robin Leonard, Riley Smith, and Braden McNabb, who all suffered injuries.
Last night, Tiger Woods was inducted into the Golf Hall of Fame. Woods has a record of tying 82 PGA Tour wins and 15 major championships that secured his spot in the Hall of Fame. During his emotional induction speech, Woods focused not on his 26-year-long professional golf career, but on the people that helped him get there.
Without the sacrifices of Mom, who took me all to the junior golf tournaments, Dad, who's not here, but who instilled in me this work ethic to fight for what I believe in, chase after my dreams. Nothing's ever going to be given to you. Everything's going to be earned. If you don't go out there and put in the work, you don't go out and put in the effort, one, you're not going to get the results, but two, more importantly, you don't deserve it.
Along with Tiger Woods, former PGA Tour Commissioner Tim Finchem, 3-time U.S. Women Open Championship Susie Maxwell Burning, and Marianne Hollins were inducted into the Golf Hall of Fame.
LeBron James is about to become the first player in NBA history to have a triple-double. In the 10,000s, he is 8 assists away from having 10,000 assists. He already has more than 36,000 points and 10,000 rebounds. The Lakers play Friday, and we will see if LeBron makes history. The director of Black Panther, Ryan Coogler, ran into an issue at a bank in Atlanta. Jacob Teller has more on the story.
The director of Black Panther was mistaken for a bank robber, which led to him being detained by Atlanta police. According to reports, Ryan Coogler tried to withdraw $12,000 from his account. Due to the amount, Coogler had written a note on the back of the withdrawal slip asking for the cash to be counted discreetly. The teller notified her supervisors that she thought Coogler was trying to rob the bank and then called 911. Coogler was then detained by police, but once his identity was confirmed by Atlanta police, they took him out of handcuffs and let him go. While Coogler says the situation should have never happened, he adds that it's been, quote, addressed to my satisfaction. Bank of America later issued a statement apologizing for the incident. Coogler was in Atlanta working on Black Panther Wakanda Forever, a sequel to his hit with Chadwick Boseman back in 2018. The film is expected to be released later this year. This is Jacob Teller reporting for Studio G.
Today is National Ranch Day. Hidden Valley claims to have created the first ranch back in 1994 in a ranch in the mountains outside of Santa Barbara. Ranch became the best-selling dressing in 1992, beating out Italian dressing. Now, Kyra, I don't know about you, but I put ranch on absolutely everything.
Oh, no, I don't like ranch.
What?
Blue cheese all the way.
All right, and I would also like to know, our producer Nick just let us know that we just hit 500 subscribers on our YouTube channel. Ooh. So that's an amazing way to go into the break. Thank you guys so much for watching.
Be sure to tune in after spring break for more Studio G.